activism needs to be about keeping these commandments.
This is not what I expected out of them. The true Bible, the book of our fathers.
Right. The Most High has given us guidance on what we need to do.
It's Officer Eli.
It's Officer Nahshon.
Officer Ezekiel.
The book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 15. For that which I do, I allow not.
This is the Apostle Paul. He's talking about the thought of concupiscence. He said, for that which I allow not. No, read it again.
For that which I do.
For that which I do, because I'm thinking on this concupiscence. Go ahead.
I allow not.
The I that's not allowing it is his righteous spirit. His righteous spirit is saying, don't think that way. But the mind, being up underneath the temptation of concupiscence, is still entertaining that thought. Read that again.
For that.
I'm showing you that there's a separation here. Paul is addressing that here. This is what's going on in your churches, but you don't listen to the Spirit at all. You listen to the satanic mindset that has been put in you by Christianity.
Right.
Read.
For that which I do, I allow not. For that.
For that which I end up doing, my spirit says, no, don't do that. Go ahead.
For what I would.
For what I would do, what my spirit really wants to do,
that do I not.
My mind will not work in sync with my spirit. It continues to go down the wrong path, adverse to what my spirit really wants. Go ahead.
But what I hate.
But what I hate to do, which is what Christianity has taught me to do. Go ahead.
That do I.
I end up doing it because my mind has been trained to follow lies. Go ahead.
If then I do that which I would not, I consent unto the law that it is good.
Because the law is showing you, the law coming through our spirit is letting us know that what we are participating in this Christianity is wrong. That's the reason why you're questioning what's going on in your churches right now, because you know that's not right. Go ahead, read.
Now then, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me.
Sin is how Christianity operates. Sin is the sea that Christianity runs on. You can still be a homosexual. You can still be an adulterer. You can still be a lesbian, a thief, a crook, a robber, a murderer. You can still be all of these things. It's all good in white Jesus.
Right.
That's Christianity. That's not the Bible. Read that again.
Now then, it is no more I that do it.
It is no more the spirit in me that wants to do this. Go ahead.
But sin that dwelleth in me.
Dwelleth in my mind because it's controlled by Christianity. I'm bringing it up to date where we are now today. Go ahead.
For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing.
The spirit, the mind is talking about the flesh, meaning in your mind. This is what it said, dwelleth no good thing, because this right here has been tampered with. People talking about what's been tampered with. Your mind has been tampered with.
Right.
Where it's not even in connection with what your spirit really needs. Go ahead.
For to will is present with me.
For me, because I want to do what my spirit wants me to do, but my mind cannot figure out the way to get it done. And that leaves a particular frustration. When the mind will not cooperate and give the spirit what it really wants, what ends up happening? Because now there's a war between the two. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to hear that voice constantly saying, you know what, I don't need to be doing this. I don't need this is your spirit telling your mind, I don't need to be dealing with this kind of thing here. I don't need to be smoking that dope. I don't need to be drinking all this alcohol. I don't need to be prostituting. I don't need to be pimping my women out, sleeping around and committing adultery and all that. I don't need to be doing this. Read that again.
For I know that in me, that is in my flesh,
go ahead,
dwelleth no good thing.
Because these are the thoughts, like it says in another part of the scripture, it said the thoughts of, what is that, 7:21, one of those scriptures, all those bad things that's in them. What is it, Matthew 7:21?
Mark 7:21.
Mark 7:21. Read that real quick. These are the things that dwell within us.
The book of Mark, chapter 7, verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
For from within, out of the heart of men.
The heart of men is mind. The heart of the man is the mind. Listen to what's in the man's mind. Go ahead.
Proceed evil thoughts.
Proceed evil thoughts, because your thoughts come from the mind. As a man thinketh, he ends up being that. But your spirit is in the background crying because it wants to do right. Go ahead.
Adulteries.
That's in the mind. Read.
Fornication.
Read.
Murders.
Thefts.
Covetousness.
Wickedness.
Deceit.
deceit,
lasciviousness, and evil eye,
envious towards your brothers. Go ahead.
Blasphemies, pride, foolishness. All these evil things come from within. And defile the man.
And they defile the spirit. They defile the mind. They defile the man. Because the spirit that's in man is at war. That's what another part of the scripture said, that the members that's warring within us. That's what it's talking about. So your spirit is saying you should not be dealing with adultery. You should not be dealing with this. You should not be dealing with that. That's your spirit. But your mind keeps doing it. And if your mind keeps doing it, your spirit is constantly getting on you. This is what they call your conscience. Your conscience is saying you keep on messing up. Your conscience keep beating you up. At one point, you're going to be like, you know what? I'm tired of my spirit getting on me. So now let me get the dope to nullify the spirit. Let me get that cocaine to nullify the real truth in me. Let me nullify the brothers that's telling me to stop doing that. Let me nullify the truth coming from the Israelites when we're on the streets teaching. Christianity will roll by in a car and basically say, stop listening to the Israelites. It's the same thing. Your choice of drug could be anything. Could be alcohol, could be Christianity, could be a myriad of things. But all of it is designed for you to, it's designed to shut your spirit down. To shut down the righteousness that God is trying to work with you. Right. That's the whole point. So your spirit is constantly getting on you. Your conscience is constantly saying you're in the wrong. Stop doing that. You need to silence that voice. That's what the mind says. How are we going to, the controlled Christianity mind says, silence that spirit from chastising you because you continue to want to do wrong, and the spirit of God is constantly chastising you. You want to shut that voice down. So give me that dope. Give me that alcohol. Give me Christianity. Because Christianity says it's all right in Jesus.
Crackianity.
Damn.
That's the same thing. I want y'all to seriously understand it because it's a hell of a drug. Yes. Let's finish that so I ain't got to go back to that.
Yes, sir. The book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 18. For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing.
Meaning the thoughts of Christianity. I'm bringing it up to date. Go ahead.
For my spirit wants to do the right thing. That's what the will is. For to will is present within me. The spirit wants to be able to come to the truth and stay in the truth. Go ahead. For to will is present with me.
Go ahead.
But how to perform that
But hold it. That's the part right there. I needed to read this. Go ahead. But what?
But how to perform that which is good, I find not.
But in other words, to get my brain to operate the way the spirit needs me to operate, I can't find a way to do that. So that's where the frustration comes in. The frustration comes in when you cannot find the road to the hope that you're looking for. Therefore, your hope to really deal with your spirit is deferred. And because you can't reach it, your mind goes crazy. That's where the psych ward comes in. That's where the dope comes in. That's where Christianity comes in. All of it is the same thing because you cannot come to grips that your mind is not right. Your mind cannot put anything together to satisfy your spirit in terms of righteousness. Read that statement again where you was at.
But how to perform.
In other words, my spirit is trying to get the motor in the car to do right. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
That which is good, I find not.
I cannot figure out how to get this car to start. I'm the driver, and I know I need to go somewhere, but the engine is all messed up. There's sugar all in the gas tank. The CPU is all messed up. That's your mind on Christianity. Your mind ain't working well at all. Mm-hmm. But the spirit is in the car frustrated. The spirit is frustrated, can't move, trapped in a body that can't function. That's hell. Yep. That's hell. That is pure hell. That's like I don't want to use this. That's like a child. A child is born with a mental affliction. Because some people don't understand how that really works. Right. A child that's born with a real mental affliction, what they call autistic and severe mental retardation and stuff like that.
Right.
The spirit, there's still a spirit in that child, but the spirit cannot get the mind to do what the body should do. Right. I've seen this, working in certain areas. Right. I've seen when a child starts acting up because the child gets frustrated because he can't get his arms to move the way he wants them to move, can't say the words that he want to say. That's the mind not being able to connect with the spirit that wants to be able to express himself, that wants to be able to walk down the aisle or do this or do that.
Right.
They can't figure it out. That's what's happening to us in the spirit. The spirit wants to be able to say, you know what, I want to get up, I want to put my shirt on, I want to put my pants on, my belt buckle and all that. I want to do those things, but when I try to get my mind to do it, the mind is taking stuff off the shelf rather than putting my clothes on. So that's some real battle going on between the spirit and the mind. I use that drastic example to show you what's happening when it comes to people in Christianity. Same
good.
thing.
That's a heavy example, Bishop.
Okay,
Exactly right.
that's the point. So when I said that we basically in a car, we're the spirit in a car. We know what we want the car to do, but if the car cannot cooperate with the brain, which is the motor, to make the car move, you're just sitting there trying to drive, and the car ain't going nowhere, and you're frustrated.
It's an endless fight.
It's an endless fight. Christianity makes sure that we don't connect with our motor. Okay. But the motor knows where the truth is. Right. You know where the truth is, but because you are in fear with Christianity as a weaponized weapon against you, you will not even speak in favor of the truth.
Hey, Christianity knows who the mechanics are.
Exactly. Right on. Exactly. They say, here, you coming to fix. Who the hell are you to come educate my niggers? Right. That's basically what it's saying. You trying to fix the brain that we messed up? You're a hate group.
Right.
Same thing, so you can understand. Just wanted to bring those points out. All right. Roman, read on.
Verse 19. For the good that I would, I do not, but the evil which I would not, that I do.
Go ahead.
Now, if
I end up doing it because that's Christianity has separated the two. Go ahead.
Now, if I do that I would not, it is no more I that do it.
Because the white man's Christianity has taken over. That's the point he's saying. Go ahead.
But sin that dwelleth in me.
But Christianity that dwelleth within us. Your mind is completely shut down at this point. Go ahead. I mean, your spirit is completely oppressed and shut down at this point. Because you ain't listening to what the spirit say. The spirit of God, so you can understand. Read on.
Sickness is there.
The sickness is there. Go ahead.
I find then a law that when I would do good, evil is present with me.
Because the law reveals where your mind should be. That's the point. That's the reason why you don't teach the law in church. Because the mind will let the brain know that you're in sin. So you want to get rid of that. Don't read the Old Testament. All that kind of stuff. All throughout the scriptures, Christ keep the commandments. Even in the last book of the Bible. Right. Revelation 12. Give me that. Revelation 12:14. Tell you to keep the commandments. How come the churches ain't teaching that?
Right. Right. That's a good point.
The book of Revelation, chapter 22, verse 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments.
Blessed are they that do his commandments. Go ahead.
That they may have right to the tree of life.
That they might have right to drive the car to the kingdom. That's the point. That the spirit knows how to work with that motor to drive the whole entire automobile to the kingdom. Go ahead.
And may enter in through the gates into the city.
And enter in through the gates of the city. That's what it said, right?
Yes, sir.
All praises to the Lord. That's what's wrong with us today. We do not have that connection. Our spirit is troubled, and our minds are programmed to be against the Spirit of God. And so when the Spirit of God that's within you is trying to resonate with the scriptures, but Christianity comes in and intercepts your brain. And where you can't, where the wavelengths that's trying to get to your head is cut off. The frequencies are changed. You can't resonate with it.
Bishop, can he read 15?
I'm coming.
That's Christianity right there.
Go ahead, read it.
Verse 15. For without are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and idolaters and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie.
That's Christianity right there all day long. All in that you just read, okay, is Christianity. That's all I wanted to say.
All praise to the Lord. We about to turn it up. I'm almost done with my parts. Read on in that Romans.
The book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 20. Now, if I do that I would not, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me.
In other words, it's Christianity that dwelleth in us. Go ahead.
I find then a law that when I would do good, evil is present with me.
When I would do good, Christianity comes back and intercepts the good. Go ahead.
For I delight in the law of God.
My spirit delights in the law of God. Go ahead.
After the inward man.
Because there is a spirit in man, so you can understand the spirit that's on the inward part recognizes the evil that we're doing. But your programmed brain is programmed to turn that off. Go ahead.
But I see another law in my members warring against the law of my mind.
That's the war that I was talking about. In order for the war to stop, you end up taking drugs. You get drunk. You're getting high on all kinds of barbiturates and hallucinatory products. And Christianity is the biggest dope needle of all times. Go ahead.
And bringing me into captivity of the law of sin, which is in my members.
You see that? So that's the whole point there. The law reveals to our spirit, and our spirit is trying to get our mind in sync so that we can move our bodies towards Christ. That's the whole point right there. Now, the dangers of Christianity. Let's play the video. All right, I'm going to turn y'all loose now. Y'all all right, Captain? Yes. Let me show you what Christianity does, starting from the beginning.
Bring it out.
Okay, let's just let this thing ride. This is what Christianity does.
He looks like a zombie.
Yes. Now this is show it on the screen so we can see who we talk about. This is Gene, the brother who was the brother of the victim, Botham Jean, who was killed by the police officer Amber Geiger, and the title is "I Forgive You." Why black people feel like we always have to be the first ones to say "I forgive"? Right. Nobody talk about forgiving. They don't forgive us. They throw our butts in jail with no question about it at all. Go ahead.
For myself,
turn it up. Turn it up. Let's get these sounds right. Let's back it up. Let's get.
For myself, I forgive you.
I keep forgetting.
And I know if you go to God and ask Him, He will forgive you. And I don't think anyone could say it. Again, I'm speaking for myself, not even bad for my family. But I love you just like anyone else. And I'm not gonna say I hope you rot and die just like my brother did, but I personally want the best for you. And I wasn't gonna ever say this in front of my family or anyone, but I don't even want you to go to jail. I want the best for you. Because I know that's exactly what both of them would want you to do. And the best would be give your life to Christ. I'm not going to say anything else. I think giving your life to Christ would be the best thing that both of them would want you to do.
Am my voice on?
Yes, sir. We can hear you, Bishop.
Yeah,
Again, I love you.
The Christianity is tearing him up right now.
Yeah, that's all over.
Christianity is just tearing his butt up.
He's
the brother of a victim that was murdered for eating ice cream that he paid for. Let's line it up. Both of them, he worked in like an investment bank or something. I forget. He had a rather prestigious job. He came home and he was in his own apartment eating his own ice cream that he paid for. He didn't steal it. Maybe if he stole it, maybe he might have been deserved to get put to death. I don't know. But he paid for the ice cream with the job that he worked on, sitting in his own house, in his own apartment, eating ice cream, watching TV, and end up dead because of racist teachings. The cop went in there and saw a black man. All of a sudden, he's a threat. That's what we tend to just blot out. Our spirit knows this. Our spirit knows that we are hated for how we look. But the mind has to justify evil by shutting off the common sense that the spirit is trying to tell us. It ain't really what you see. Shut up all that noise. That's what the mind says to the spirit. The mind is controlled by Christianity. The spirit is controlled by God. The spirit says you know what it is.
Right.
The reality is what it is. But the mind, underneath the auspices of Satan, which is Christianity, works inside the mind of Negroes, blacks his brain out where he can't think, and then justifies evil.
So, Bishop, when we say, according to Scripture, said the spirit is willing, but the flesh, that fleshly carnal mind,
that's the point,
is weak.
Is weak, super weak. It's weak.
And that's what I'm.
That's
what
exactly
I'm
what's
witnessing
happening
right now.
Listen to this thing here. Play on.
And I don't wish anything bad on you. I don't know if this is possible, but can I give her a hug, please?
Oh, God.
Please?
Hear what they say? Okay, you want to switch them out?
Yes.
Oh.
Now, notice this. Look at this. Look at this here.
Oh, God.
That's Christianity.
Hugging Caesar both.
That's Jesus. He had to hug Jesus. Jesus saved me from my evil thoughts of wanting justice for my brother.
This is like a sideshow.
It is
Just like a soap opera.
This is absolutely. I hear people boo-hooing in the daggone brothers. This Lord. I can't take it. This is crazy, 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 and this ain't funny. This is the Negro's mind in Christianity. This is it. This is what Christianity wants. This is what Christianity wants.
Okay. Now,
damn. Go ahead, Captain.
No, I want to say, pause for a minute. Now, I know for a fact, just like what you're saying, the spirit is speaking to the mind, and my mind knows if this was the other way around, you would not even see that.
Right.
Nowhere near would you see or hear any of that going on there.
Not only that, you've seen situations where black people have killed members of their family, and you see the family members jumping over people trying to get them. They ain't trying to hug them at all.
Right.
Whole family.
The whole family in court, tearing the courtroom up.
Right. And they know that's what's going to go down.
They tearing the courtroom up.
Yep.
Tearing the courtroom up.
Damn. Cursing them out and everything.
Yeah.
He wouldn't even have made it to court.
Exactly.
Right.
Oh, Lord.